Have you ever heard of the Ayan Pathan case? If not, prepare to be shocked and disturbed by one of the most bizarre and puzzling cases to ever grace the pages of a police report. This twisted tale of betrayal, violence, and a shocking revelation will leave you questioning the very fabric of human nature. Strap in, because you're about to embark on a journey into the dark heart of a small town in Madhya Pradesh, India, where a seemingly innocuous friendship spiraled into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. The Ayan Pathan case has captivated the nation, shining a light on the seedy underbelly of a seemingly quiet community. This case is significant in the realm of strange and unexplained incidents faced by investigators, as it defies conventional logic and challenges our understanding of the human psyche. What could possibly drive a person to commit such heinous acts? As we delve deeper into the details, the answers become increasingly elusive, and the questions only multiply. The case has sparked outrage and disbelief, leaving many wondering how such a horrific series of events could unfold in a society that prides itself on its values and traditions. The story of Ayan Pathan and the young Hindu woman he targeted is one that will haunt the collective consciousness of the nation for years to come. It is a tale of manipulation, cruelty, and a shocking betrayal of trust that has left an indelible mark on all who have come to know of it. The case has become a symbol of the fragility of the human condition and the darkness that can lurk within the hearts of even the most seemingly ordinary individuals. It all began with a chance encounter between Ayan Pathan, a 24-year-old laborer, and a 23-year-old Hindu woman in their shared neighborhood. Pathan, a charming and manipulative individual, slowly wormed his way into the woman's life, despite her mother's repeated warnings to stay away from him. The woman, young and naive, fell under Pathan's spell, unaware of the horrors that awaited her. It was as if Pathan had cast a dark enchantment over the woman, blinding her to the true nature of his intentions. Pathan's initial approach was one of calculated charm and feigned concern. He would often engage the woman in casual conversation, offering a sympathetic ear and a helping hand whenever she needed it. Gradually, he began to insert himself more and more into her daily life, offering to run errands, accompany her on walks, and even assist with household chores. The woman, who had grown up in a close-knit community, found comfort in Pathan's attentiveness and the sense of companionship he provided. However, the woman's mother, a fiercely protective and perceptive woman, immediately recognized the danger that Pathan posed. She had heard the whispers and rumors that circulated about him in the neighborhood, tales of his womanizing ways and his penchant for manipulating those around him. Time and again, she pleaded with her daughter to distance herself from Pathan, warning her that his intentions were not pure. But the young woman, blinded by her own loneliness and Pathan's carefully crafted facade, refused to heed her mother's advice. As the weeks passed, Pathan's true colors began to emerge. He became increasingly possessive and controlling, demanding the woman's undivided attention and growing agitated whenever she spent time with others. Slowly but surely, he began to isolate her from her family and friends, cutting off her lines of communication and support. It was as if he was weaving a web of deceit and coercion, trapping the woman in a reality of his own creation. One fateful day, while the woman's mother was away in Shivpuri, Pathan made his move. He arrived at the woman's home, armed with a sinister plan and a twisted sense of entitlement. Forcing his way inside, he held the woman hostage, subjecting her to unimaginable torture and repeated sexual assaults. The details of the abuse are truly gut-wrenching and not for the faint of heart. Pathan allegedly used a leather belt, an iron instrument, and even chili powder and glue to inflict unimaginable pain on the woman. In a particularly disturbing act, he poured the adhesive Fevikwik into her mouth, effectively silencing her cries for help. It was as if Pathan had transformed into a sadistic monster, reveling in the woman's agony and powerlessness. For an entire month, the woman was held captive in her own home, her cries for help echoing through the silent streets of the neighborhood. Pathan's reign of terror was a carefully orchestrated campaign of physical, emotional, and psychological abuse, designed to break the woman's spirit and assert his complete dominance over her. When the woman finally managed to escape and reach the police station, the authorities were shocked by the severity of her injuries. One of her eyes had completely lost vision, while the other was left with blurred vision, a permanent reminder of the horrors she had endured. The woman's physical scars would eventually heal, but the emotional trauma would linger, haunting her for years to come. The investigation that followed was a complex and painstaking process, as the police sought to unravel the tangled web of lies and deception that Pathan had woven. Witness statements, forensic evidence, and a meticulous reconstruction of the timeline of events all contributed to a growing understanding of the case. As the investigation progressed, the most astonishing revelation came to light. Pathan's true motive was not just sexual gratification, but the desire to acquire the woman's property. According to the police, Pathan had been pressuring the woman to transfer her inherited house, which was under her mother's name, to him. When she refused, the violence escalated to unimaginable levels, as Pathan's greed and lust for power consumed him. It was as if the man had become possessed by a demon, driven by an insatiable hunger for control and material gain. The discovery of this shocking motive only added to the complexity of the case, raising questions about the depths of human depravity and the lengths to which some individuals will go to satisfy their own selfish desires. Pathan's actions were not simply the result of a momentary lapse in judgment or a fleeting fit of rage. They were the culmination of a carefully orchestrated plan, fueled by a twisted sense of entitlement and a complete disregard for the humanity of his victim. As the investigation continued, the police uncovered a disturbing pattern in Pathan's past. It emerged that he had a history of targeting vulnerable women, using his charm and manipulation to gain their trust, only to betray and exploit them. The Ayan Pathan case was not an isolated incident, but rather the latest chapter in a long and sordid history of predatory behavior. The revelations about Pathan's past only served to deepen the sense of outrage and disbelief that gripped the community. How could such a monster have been allowed to roam free, preying on innocent women and destroying their lives? The case became a rallying cry for greater awareness and stronger protections for vulnerable members of society, as the public demanded answers and justice. As the investigation reached its climax, the police uncovered a web of deceit and corruption that extended far beyond Pathan himself. It became clear that the local authorities had been aware of Pathan's predatory behavior for some time, but had turned a blind eye, either out of fear or complicity. The realization that the very institutions meant to protect the community had failed so spectacularly only added to the sense of betrayal and disillusionment. The trial that followed was a tense and emotionally charged affair, as the woman and her family faced off against Pathan and his team of lawyers. The prosecution presented a damning array of evidence, including forensic reports, witness testimonies, and chilling recordings of Pathan's interactions with the woman. The defense, in turn, attempted to discredit the evidence and paint Pathan as a victim of circumstance. In the end, the weight of the evidence proved too much for the defense to overcome. Pathan was found guilty on multiple counts, including kidnapping, rape, and attempted murder. The judge, visibly shaken by the severity of the crimes, handed down a sentence that reflected the gravity of Pathan's actions: life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. As the verdict was read, the courtroom erupted in a mixture of relief, anger, and a profound sense of sorrow. The woman, who had endured unimaginable suffering at the hands of her tormentor, finally found a measure of justice. But the scars of her ordeal would never fully heal, and the knowledge that Pathan's crimes had been enabled by a system that failed to protect her would haunt her for the rest of her life. The Ayan Pathan case is a complex and disturbing tale that challenges our understanding of human behavior. The sheer brutality and calculated nature of the crimes committed by Pathan are truly puzzling, leaving us to wonder what could drive a person to such extreme lengths. As the investigation continues, many questions remain unanswered, and the case serves as a stark reminder of the dark depths to which human depravity can sink. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit that the woman, despite her ordeal, has found the strength to move forward and seek justice. The case has become a symbol of the fragility of the human condition and the darkness that can lurk within the hearts of even the most seemingly ordinary individuals. It has sparked a national conversation about the need for greater awareness, stronger protections, and more effective interventions to prevent such tragedies from occurring in the future. In the aftermath of the Ayan Pathan case, the community has been left to grapple with a range of emotions, from outrage and disbelief to a profound sense of betrayal and disillusionment. The realization that the very institutions meant to protect them had failed so spectacularly has shaken the foundations of trust and confidence, leaving many to wonder if true justice can ever be achieved in a world where power and privilege so often triumph over morality and compassion. As the investigation continues and the legal proceedings unfold, the Ayan Pathan case stands as a sobering reminder of the fragility of the human condition and the importance of vigilance, empathy, and a steadfast commitment to the principles of justice and human dignity. It is a case that will undoubtedly continue to haunt the collective consciousness of the nation, serving as a stark warning about the consequences of unchecked greed, manipulation, and the abuse of power. What do you make of the Ayan Pathan case? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Do you know of any other peculiar mysteries that deserve further exploration? Let us know, and be sure to subscribe for more intriguing content like this. Together, we'll delve into the darkest corners of the human psyche, uncovering the stories that chill us to the bone and challenge our preconceptions about the world we live in. Join us on this journey of discovery, where the line between good and evil blurs, and the truth is often stranger than fiction. As we grapple with the complexities of the Ayan Pathan case, it is important to remember that this is not just a story, but a reflection of the very real and devastating consequences of unchecked violence, greed, and the abuse of power. By engaging with these difficult narratives, we can begin to understand the fragility of the human condition and the importance of fostering a society that prioritizes empathy, justice, and the protection of the most vulnerable among us. So, let us not turn away from the darkness that this case has exposed, but rather use it as a catalyst for change. Let us demand greater accountability from our institutions, stronger safeguards for the vulnerable, and a renewed commitment to the values of compassion and human dignity. Only then can we truly honor the resilience and courage of the woman at the heart of this tragedy, and ensure that her story, and the stories of all those who have suffered at the hands of predators like Ayan Pathan, are never forgotten.